Very good morning to one and all present in this virtual meeting. This is again regarding the installation of Koha on Google Cloud. Yesterday we discussed about installation of Koha on Google Cloud, but some of the portion was not covered. So we will see in this part two that what was the problem and how we can solve that problem. So that we can configure the Koha. So in this particular video, we are going to see that how we can overcome that problem because when we install, so sometimes it may not run, and what could be the reason I'm going to show you, and then I'll also show you the configuration, and then we will see that how Koha works on Google Cloud. So let me share the screen first. I guess my screen is visible now, and you can see that this particular screen yesterday also we have seen, and we saw that up to here we finished all the configuration, and when we started running, so it was not opening the Koha. So for that, first of all, we need to check the setting in the Koha instance which we have created. So for that, I just open the Koha interface, and then I will see the configuration. And this particular configuration, we will decide that what was the region, and accordingly we will just uh, set the setting. So here we can see that this firewall, we can see that this particular firewall is not enabled, means the allow HTTP traffic or allow HTTPS traffic is disabled, and because of this it is not functional. So uh, what we can do, we just have to just click on edit, and we have to make sure that this particular HTTP traffic is enabled. So once we enable this HTTP traffic, we will allow the HTTP traffic to get access. And after enabling that, I just click on save button, and again I go back to my instance. Let me go back to my instance. So there, the external IP which is available. So this IP, again, I will just click on this IP. So now it must run, and yes, you can see that now my Koha is uh, web installer page is functional. So now from here onwards, I can configure my Koha, and I can work on Koha. So to know the password, because the Koha web installer ID and password, you will know when you install, so it generates one password. So yesterday we generated, but I don't remember right now. So what I can do, I again can open the SSH, and there I'll just go to the particular file, and I will try to locate the password. So I just clicked on SSH, and it will open the SSH portal, means terminal. If you have worked in Ubuntu or any operating system, so there you will find the terminal, and where we install with the help of terminal different software. So it also works very in similar pattern. So first I am supposed to log in with the root, and then I'll go to particular file. I'll go to etc, and then I'll go to Apache. No, I'll go to Koha, and then see. Then I'll go to CD sites, and here I'll find the database which we created, And now if I see, so I'll find one file koha-conf.xml. So this I'll open with nano command, and then I'll open this file, and I'll come down with the help of down cursor, and I'll locate the password which has been generated by default at the time of installation, and that password I will require in order to log in. And this is first time, you just remember, this is first time this password to be used. After that, once you create, so then you will not require. So I have copied the password, and I just come out of this window, and again I go back to this user ID where I'll type the user ID, and then I'll add the password, and then I'll click on login. So the moment I click on login, it will take me to the next page, and then I just click on continue to the setup. Again, it will take process and take me to the next screen where it will check the Perl dependencies. I'll click on continue to the next step, and it will check the database setting where the database type is MySQL, username is Koha underscore library, host is localhost, port it is going to use 3306, and username is Koha underscore library. So these are the basic information of the database setting, and then I'll click on continue to the next setup. So now the connection has been established, and I just click on continue to the next step, and here setup database. Again I'll click on continue the next step. So it will take me to further to the next screen where I'm supposed to do the basic settings. So now it has created the database table successfully, and click on continue to the next setup. Again, I'll click on continue to the next setup, and now it is ready to do the basic configuration in Koha. And here you can see it is asking whether you want to go ahead with the Mark 21 or Unimark. So let me tell you, Mark 21 is being used internationally by most of the library. So better to go ahead with Mark 21, and now it will open the default setting page where we are supposed to set the default setting. So whatever the required essential setting, it has already been checked by system itself. Only we need to check those items which we require. So this I have selected matching rule. Then I can take the fast add minimal Mark 21 for doing the cataloging, and if I want I can take some sample framework of Mark 21, or I can create. So better I take this so that I will have the basic or sample bibliographic framework which will help me to do the cataloging of the different documents. And here some other optional settings we are supposed to choose. Some basic default authorized value. Yes, we need to check the authorized value. These values are very helpful at the time of cataloging, such as location. Location may be different. So we create the value for this location category in the authorized value. Then coded value conforming to the Z39 protocol, mark code list for relators, and then some basic currencies. This I can leave. Use pattern attribute, sample pattern type, I can leave this, and label and pattern card data, I can leave this. Default item type leave, I can leave. Sample library, I can skip. Sample holiday, I can skip. Sample news item, I can skip. If you want, you can take. And then all these sample items you can skip. There is no foundation, or there is no requirement of this sample data. And then I'll check the allow access to the following server to search and download record information from the different servers. So by default, Library of Congress is and Library of Columbia University is given. So if I select, it will get added to my Z39.50 server. And then I have to import. So once I click on import button, it will import all the basic settings in my Koha, and that will help me to configure the Koha properly. So you can see default data is loaded, And now we are ready to go. To set up some Koha basic requirement, it has completed. So we have done successfully the Koha basic setting, and now I just click on start onboarding process, and then once you do, it will ask you to create the library. So this is one-time job, and you are supposed to give the code. So for example, I create the basic code, seal it, and here I give central library. Then I click on submit. So it has created the basic library, and now it is asking that to create the category, patron category. So by default, I am going to create the staff. So this category will have all the staff and will be eligible to receive the overdue notices if any staff is taking book, and how long this will be active. So you can give any date. Later also you can modify. So for example, I take 28th of February 2022. Later you can modify it, and then I click on submit. So when I click on submit, it will create the patron category and take me to the next window where I'm supposed to create the administrator. So the administrator name I give here DP Tripathi, card name suppose I give library, and then I suggest always whatever the number, card number you are using, same you use as a username, so that you will not forget to access the page in case you are accessing the OPAC or staff login interface. And then add the password. The password should be the combination of alphabet, numeric, and special character, including the capital letter. And once you do, it will take you to the next page for creating the item. So initially we add the book. So I just create one code BK, and I'll give the description books and monographs, and then I'll click on submit. Once I do it, I, it will just ask me to decide the circulation rule. So for library branch, I select the central library. Category, I have created library staff. Item type, I have created only BK. I am eligible to take 4 books. For example, as per my policy, for 30 days, I'll set all these. 2 times I have been allowed to, means staff is allowed to renew, and the renewal period will be the same as the checkout loan period. And how many times I can reserve? So 2 times. Daily I can be allowed 2 times. Per record I can reserve 1 time. And on shelf hold reservation is allowed or not. So I am not in favor of allowing. Um so you can check if all unavailable, if any are unavailable, or yes. So you decide whatever you want. So suppose I have chosen the yes. So in case the book is available in the library, then also I can reserve the document through OPAC. And finally, I click on submit. Once I click on submit, my Koha will be ready to use. So now I just click on start using Koha. So once I click on start using Koha, it will ask me to enter the same user ID and password which I just created for administrator. And once I just click on login, you can see my Koha is active on Google Cloud. So this is the process to install Koha on Google Cloud, and it will help you to practice for 90 days. And after that, if you want to continue, so some basic minimum charges will be charged by Google, and if you're ready to pay, so you can have your own server on Google Cloud and you can enjoy. Or even some of the libraries, those who are struggling with the setting and server, all these, so they can directly go ahead with this Google Cloud, and they can purchase Google Cloud and they can install Koha or DSpace or anything. So this is the process of installing Koha on Google Cloud. I hope this video would be helpful to you for learning and starting with the installation of Koha on Google Cloud, and also it will help you to um, um, set your library with Koha on Google Cloud, and you will enjoy. At least not if you are not going for the actual implementation. So at the initial stage, you can practice, you can install. So you will be thorough with the problems, and also you will learn so many things. So thank you for watching this video, and I really welcome. I'll be happy to welcome all your suggestions, and if uh, if you give me comments, suggestions, so definitely I'll work on that, and I'll try to make it more informative. So once again, thank you very much for joining this event. We will meet again in some other event. Thank you very much. Wish you all a very happy and nice day ahead.